Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to the first Game Dev Club of the summer term. We want to try and have a series where we can create our own characters, put them into games where they are animated. So we had a request for a mutant humanoid squirrel holding a graffiti can. Today we're not going to animate it, but you'll see how we can get a model that we're going to create. This is our model. And then next week I'll show you how you can animate it. And then after that, we can put it into Unity and turn it into our own games. So we're going to start in Blender. We've got a new version of Blender in school today, so it might look a little bit different. We're on Blender 4.1. It's the latest version. The good news is that at least it will look the same if you install the latest version of Blender at home. We're going to start with the cube. Remember, you push your mouse wheel in as a button and move your mouse to look around. You scroll with your mouse wheel to zoom in and out. And you press Tab, which is the button to the left of Q, to toggle edit mode and object mode. So we're going to be in edit mode for most of this, but we are going to add a subdivision surface modifier. So, can you even do that in edit mode? I don't think you can. So back into object mode, that's Tab, Control and 2, or Control and 3, or Control and 1. The level of subdivision surface modifier will automatically smooth your model as much as possible, but still maintaining the simplicity of the mesh to make it easier to adapt afterwards. Then, in object mode, you can right-click and shade smooth, and we've got something that's fairly low poly, but reasonable. So that's the first top tip, the subdivision surface modifier. The next modifier, on the spanner over here, we're going to add a mirror. Now, Blender 4.1 has changed where we find all of these. I don't know where they are. I'm just going to search for a mirror modifier, which means anything I do in the x-axis, which is in the red direction, is going to be mirrored on the other side, over here. So we go into edit mode with Tab. Remember, default selection is where you've got a vertex selected, or just 2 on your keyboard to select edges. The most useful one for me is 3, which is faces. If you G for grab, look, it's mirrored. I'm going to escape to cancel that. Let's put a line in the middle. So Control R for a loop cut. Put your mouse over the middle, and I don't want to click again because I want it to be dead centered. So I'm just going to press escape, and I've got a loop cut in the middle. That's going to be really important so we can keep it symmetrical. Then I want to select this face, so that's 3 on the keyboard again, not on the numpad on the right of your keyboard, 3 on the top of your keyboard over here. Shift and click over here, so we've got these ones. E to extrude, click S to scale for the neck, E to extrude again, and these are the shoulders. E to extrude, that's going to be the body. E to extrude again, that's going to be the groin. Now, because it's a mutant squirrel, I'm going to pull the legs out at the side, and then I'm going to pull down this. Words are failing me. These are legs, aren't they? I might rotate it a little bit, R, and I'm going to rotate it around the y-axis, and then grab it. So, grab it in the x-axis. There we go. So G for grab, R for rotate, and E to extrude and S to scale are your most useful keyboard shortcuts. E to extrude again, so I can get the front of the foot, and E to extrude. That'll do. Right, let's get a tail. Shift and click on both of these. E to extrude, let's have a thin bit of the tail where it comes out. E to extrude again, extend the tail with S. It doesn't look great. Let's Control R, add a loop cut. Oop, that didn't work. E to extrude again, make that a little bit smaller. Control R, add a loop cut there so that you can extend it with S. That'll do. We don't have any arms. This is problematic for most humanoids. Let's grab this. So I pressed 3 on the keyboard to get face select, clicked over here. E to extrude, S to scale, GZ to move up, E to extrude. Now, if you're going to animate it, it needs to be in a T pose. That means the legs are facing down and the arms are facing out. Don't try and model it in a realistic position. It's so much easier if you put it in a simple T pose like this. So let's pull it out a little bit more with G. E to extrude, scale it down a little bit at the elbow. E to extrude down to the wrist. E to extrude over here, E to extrude, then maybe scale it up for the start of the hand. We could make fingers and claws and everything, but not going to bother. Right, let's look at the front over here. What can we do with this? Shift and select both of these. E to extrude, S to scale. That's going to be the nose, so E to extrude a little bit more. These bits, I can E to extrude a little bit and E to extrude, but go inside to get kind of a mouth cavity. It looks grumpy, but it'll do. I'm not going to extrude the eyes. I think that's going to look weird. So Control Z, but I will extrude some ears. E to extrude, S to scale. That'll do. And then Shift A, I'm just going to add a cube. I want it to look like a sphere, but because I've got that subdivision surface modifier, then Blender's going to do the hard work for me. G, X to grab it in the X direction, G, Y to pull it forwards, G, Z to pull it up, S to scale, G, X. I want nice, cartoony big eyes. I know they're shaded, not smooth, what is it? Flat. But if you go out from edit mode with tab, right click and shade smooth, there we go. Shift D to duplicate. Lots of keyboard shortcuts. Most of these are familiar if you've done these before. I always think it looks better if the pupils aren't dead center. Right, now we can put some textures on. Let's go on the material. Double click. It's really important that you name your materials, especially if you export into a game engine later. So let's call this fur. Change the base color to something, and you'll notice it doesn't seem to work on here until you go to, what mode is this? Viewport shading material preview. Here we go. Very orange. Let's make it a bit darker. That'll do. Right, I want the eyes to be a different color, so I need another material slot with another material in here. Let's call it eyes. Edit mode. Now, useful keyboard shortcut, Control and L selects all of the linked vertices. And I can get my material and assign that on here. And this is irritating. Look, I'm trying to select these vertices or these faces, but it's inside, so I can't click on it. It's really irritating. I've got to press Z to go to wireframe mode so that I can click on it. Control L to get linked vertices. Z to go back to material preview. Then you can have a new material slot, a new material in that slot. Call it pupils. We're almost there. Just remember to assign that to the selected vertices. So it's not terrible. Come on, I want that face and that face with a mouth selected. And I reckon I've probably overrun my time. I've done more than 5 minutes and you're getting bored. So I'd better let you get on. We have until the end of today's Game Dev Club to try and create your own T-pose mutant humanoid animal character. It doesn't have to be a squirrel, but it should have 2 arms and 2 legs and a head. See what you can do. Looking forward to seeing your creations.